You are watching Platinum Northwest TV News on this chilly Tuesday evening. Good evening and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Philadelphia Mangoeng. Let's take a look at the news making headlines. The ANC has committed to strengthening ties with the Communist Party of Vietnam and the Bojanala district boost service delivery with key donations to local municipality. In the business news, Motorists gets further reprieve at the fuel pumps this month. And in the sports news, Arsenal and PSG lock horns in the Champions League. We begin here. The African National Congress has committed to strengthening its economic, social and political ties with the Communist Party of Vietnam. The deliberations focused on expanding cooperation between the two countries in trade, development and governance. South Africa and Vietnam enjoy a healthy bilateral relationship with trade volumes exceeding 23 billion rand in 2023, a 14% increase from the previous year. Vietnam is South Africa's fourth largest trading partner in Southeast Asia. President Ramaphosa has committed to ensuring that Vietnam attains the G20 next year as a friend of South Africa.
The G20 in 2025. That will help also to solidify the relations between South Africa and Vietnam. And I hope that I'll be able to visit Vietnam before then, so that we explore areas of improving our relations, increasing trade and investment between our two countries.
South Africa will also assume the presidency of the G20 on the 1st of December this year, where the country hopes to place the African agenda on the table. President Cyril Ramaphosa also concluded his trip to New York last week. This is where he used the platform at the UN General Assembly to reiterate calls to have a permanent seat for Africa on the Security Council. In other news, the Bojanala Platinum District Municipality has stepped up efforts by equipping its 5 constituent local municipalities with essential tools of trade. The district municipality recently donated a range of critical equipment, including 4 firefighting trucks, 3 4x4 Nissan bakkies and 12 water JoJo tanks to local municipalities such as the Moses Kotane, Moretele and Gauteng Rivier. Now, the water JoJo tanks allocated to the Moses Kotane local municipality are said to provide much needed water shortage solutions in the remote rural areas, addressing water scarcity challenges. The recent donations underscore Bojanala District's commitment to improving service delivery and ensuring that communities, particularly in the rural areas, benefit from reliable and consistent services. In more news, the Minister of Employment and Labour, Nomakhosa Meth, briefed the media on the Department of Employment and Labour's Blitz joint inspections and compliance rates. Let's take a look.
This undertaking is a testament to our commitment as the 7th administration to foster a fair, just and thriving South Africa for all. As we navigate the path toward economic recovery and sustainable growth, it is essential that we establish a solid foundation rooted in fair and equitable labor practices. Compliance with our nation's labor laws is not merely a statutory obligation, it is a critical component of creating a stable environment that attracts investment, encourages entrepreneurship and promotes competitiveness in the global market. Since assuming office in July 2024, the Department of Employment and Labour has intensified efforts to ensure adherence to employment laws across all 9 provinces through high-impact blitz inspections in partnership with the Department of Home Affairs, the Bargaining Council of the hospitality sector, and law enforcement agencies, including the South African Police Services and the Hawks. The scale and scope of these inspections demonstrate our commitment to upholding labor standards nationwide. The Western Cape led with the highest number of inspections, totaling to 809. Gauteng followed with 764 inspections, and KwaZulu-Natal with 535 inspections. And inspections were also carried out in the Northwest, 217 of them, Eastern Cape 82, Free State 69, and Mpumalanga 59. These joint inspections targeted key sectors and regions with significant activity in the Western Cape, Gauteng, and KwaZulu-Natal. Our dedicated teams have been meticulously verifying compliance with Basic Conditions of Employment Act, National Minimum Wage Act, Occupational Health and Safety Act, Compensation of Occupational Injuries and Diseases Act, Unemployment Insurance Act, Employment Services Act, which also addresses the employment of foreigners in the labor market, promoting fairness and protecting workers. Our inspections have revealed instances of non-compliance, including underpayment of salaries, unlawful deductions, and inadequate health and safety measures. To date, we have enforced monetary corrections totaling over 10 million rand, compelling employers to rectify these violations and honor their obligations to their employees. We approach enforcement with a balance of firmness and fairness. Employers found in violation are issued compliance orders with clear deadlines for corrective actions. In situations where immediate risks to health and safety are identified, prohibition notices are issued to halt hazardous activities until compliance is achieved. We remain deeply concerned about the high unemployment rate of 33.5% among South Africans, particularly affecting our youth. Concurrently, the employment of undocumented foreigners in various sectors raises serious concerns about exploitation and the undermining of our legal frameworks. Our administration is committed to addressing these challenges comprehensively and humanely. We are collaborating closely with the Department of Home Affairs to ensure that employment practices comply with immigration laws and that all workers, regardless of their origin, are treated with dignity and fairness. Compliance is a collective responsibility that benefits us all. We extend an open invitation to all employers, especially those who may be uncertain about their compliance status, to proactively engage with the Department of Employment and Labour. Our inspection and enforcement services offer support through advocacy, providing information and resources to understand legal obligations, inspection, assessing compliance levels and offering guidance on necessary improvements, enforcement, taking appropriate action to rectify non-compliance when necessary. The choice to collaborate means that employers can avoid the repercussions of enforcement actions and contribute positively to a fair labor market. We offer a range of services aimed at supporting businesses, fostering resilience, and ensuring harmonious labor relations. These include temporary employer-employee relief schemes. TERS is designed to provide financial assistance to businesses in distress by helping them meet their wage obligations during times of.
And on to the story now. The Minister of Social Development, CCC Tolashe, has appealed to all South Africans not to consume alcohol or sell alcohol to children during the Social Development Month in October. This as the department commemorates World No Alcohol Day on Wednesday. The minister will use the day to focus on the adverse effects of alcohol affecting the country. According to some experts, alcohol is the most misused legal drug in South Africa and has a negative impact on the fabric of many communities, especially children and young people. South Africa has one of the highest rates of alcohol consumption globally, and alcohol consumption per capita in the country has risen over the last 10 years. In continental news now, Rwanda says at least 8 people have died from the Ebola-like highly contagious Marburg virus just days after the country declared an outbreak of the deadly fever that has no authorized vaccine or treatment. The Marburg virus originates in fruit bats and spreads among people through close contact with the bodily fluids of infected individuals or with surfaces such as contaminated bed sheets. According to the country's health ministry, so far 26 cases have been confirmed. The public has been urged to avoid physical contact to help curb the spread, but some 300 people who came into contact with those confirmed to have the virus have also been identified. Symptoms include fever, muscle pain, diarrhea, vomiting, and in some cases death through extreme blood loss. Let's take a look now at the business news. In the business news, motorists have been given a further reprieve with the Department of Energy announcing fuel price cut set to get into effect on the 2nd of October. The department also announced interim adjustments for road transport tariffs for petrol and diesel for the Nelson Mandela Bay area due to the temporary closure of the Port Elizabeth port, as the product would have to be sourced from East London for the region. The reason for these adjustments are the lower oil prices and stronger rand to dollar during the period under review. The cut marks the 5th consecutive price drop since May and will be around R4.60 per litre lower than the same time last year. And that's all from the business news. Up next, we wrap up with the sports. In soccer news, Arsenal face Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League as the Gunners search for its first win of the campaign at the Emirates Stadium tonight at 9. Mikel Arteta's team was held to a scoreless draw in the first UCL game of the season by Atalanta. On paper, PSG is the team's toughest test at home in the league phase. Now, Paris Saint-Germain boss Luis Enrique has confirmed Ousmane Dembele has been dropped from the squad in an unexpected boost for Arsenal. It was reported by the French media this is due to disciplinary reasons, which have effectively been confirmed by Enrique. In other selected fixtures, Bayer Leverkusen will host Italian giants AC Milan. Spanish La Liga side Barcelona will welcome Swiss outfit Young Boys, and German side Borussia Dortmund will host the Scottish giant Celtic. In more soccer news, South African club Amazulu have announced that they have sacked Spanish coach Pablo Martin after losing their first 3 matches of the Premiership this season. Now, the Durban Cup fell to Polokwane City and Kaizer Chiefs and then were beaten 1-0 by Marumo Gallants last Saturday in a clash of the bottom 2 clubs. After being an assistant coach at the Spanish giant Real Madrid in 2018, Martin spent 2 years with Kuwaiti club Al Qadisa and 1 with Tanzanian outfit Simba before moving to Amazulu last year. Martin had a disappointing first season in charge as Amazulu finished 11th in the 16-club Premiership. His overall league and cup record in charge was 12 wins, 12 draws and 15 losses. And that's where we're going to have to leave it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back again tomorrow evening. Till then, good night and take care.